were underage.
Is what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
15 barbershop conversations, man. Click the link below. Click the link below. 9 Wives, man. We got Cameron Duncan about to come in the shop, man. It's going to be a hell of an interview. We get to answer all the questions you guys been having for some time. And I thank Cameron for coming into the shop, man.
Cameron Duncan.
Okay, let me call him right back. Call him on. Give me a second. We just got off the phone. He should be calling me right back. So we'll get Cameron on in a second. Let me try him again. He's not used to this phone number. I'm calling him from the show number, so we don't have so we have clarity on it. But in the meantime, go click 9 Wives, man. Go click 9 Wives. We'll get it done. We'll get it done for sure. Not less.
The person you are calling.
Let me call him on my cell phone really quick. Oh, there he is. Hey, Cameron, how you doing?
Hey, just you gotta stop people from calling me. It's just too much.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh man, I appreciate. So we live, Cameron. Just want you to know we live, and I'm recording now. First of all, how's your health? How's everything coming with you? Last we spoke, you had lost a few pounds.
Much better than before.
Okay.
Believe me. Yeah.
Okay, and your boy had a hell of a win this past weekend, man. Jaron Ennis.
Yeah, he's tremendous. He just I kept telling people for the last 4 or 5 years he's the best fighter that I ever signed, and people said, no, you had this, you had that. He's unbelievable. A guy like him comes along every 30 years or so, maybe.
Now you said the best you've ever seen. Terrence Crawford, Tim Bradley was some hell of a fighter, especially Tim at 140.
Yeah, and Donaire and I can go on and on and on.
Yeah,
with
facts.
Great guys, and they were all great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking anything away from them, but this is like a Roy Jones or Mayweather. Or, he's just a guy who doesn't lose. He's a guy that just is dominant,
right?
And he punches so hard,
right?
He's tremendous.
How long is y'all deal, if you don't mind me asking? Is that something?
Long time.
Oh, yeah. You went down to Philadelphia. He was like, man, I want this to be a lifetime relationship.
Yeah. No, it's not. I've got a long time, but it's not about that because he doesn't want to go anywhere and I don't want to go anywhere. So we get
Right.
along so well. And
Good.
I've known his dad for over 20 years,
Mhm.
25 years. And
Mhm.
that's why they signed with me. They
Beautiful.
could have signed with anybody,
Right.
but they signed with me because he said, I want you to. When he came to me and he called me, I was out of boxing. I'd given away all of my guys and I was out.
Mm.
And I was dealing with other things and finding the Lord and that was so important to me and still is the most important thing is being with the Lord. And so I was out of boxing and when we talked and I came back in with him and then I got a call from him and then I got a call from Bobby Lee, Brandon Lee's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, boy, the Lord, because I was asking the Lord, can I get back into boxing? Should I do boxing? And
Right.
all of a sudden these guys are calling me. I'm not calling them. And I went, wow, yeah, I think he wants me to do it. So it's turned out really good. He's 28-0 boots and Brandon's 23-0. And I have a young man who's only 20 years old from Atlanta named Brian Norman, and he's 21-0. He's sensational.
Yeah, he's definitely sensational. And you obviously, I mean, it's public information now. You obviously heard what he did to Terrence Crawford 2 weekends ago.
Well, I got a note from Bomac,
Mm-hmm.
It's his manager and trainer, saying, Cameron, don't put out, things about this, that he knocked out Crawford. And I never said that,
Mm-hmm.
but everyone's calling me, telling me, and not only the dad calling me, but Brian Sr., but I got calls from several coaches that were there at the gym that day.
Yeah.
And they told me that no one said he knocked him out. They just said that he got the best of it.
Yeah, he did the merengue without a dance partner a couple times, you know what I mean? As soon as it ended, my phone was going off the hook. Fred, we just saw Terrence Crawford get the mess beat out of him, man. Brian Norman did this to him and did that to him, so that's what it was, man. And he's
but it wasn't me. I didn't call you.
No, you didn't call me. No,
I'm getting blamed for it.
Yeah, this is our first phone call in a year, I think. This is our first phone call in a year.
We haven't spoken in a long time. You didn't. No, I think I've got great plans for him, and I've got another kid who's 10-0 with 9 that is he's phenomenal.
Right.
I mean, he's beyond. And I just got off the phone with him earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get him going fast now.
Okay.
And everyone will be talking about him. He's sensational.
And what's his name?
His name is Breon. It's BRE''YON.
Mm-hmm.
And the last name is Gorham. GORHAM.
Okay, gotcha.
He's from Houston.
Okay.
And he is, man, when you see this dude, he just one punch and they go to sleep. Out.
At what weight class?
He's 135 or 140.
Okay, you're not sure yet?
I don't know if he's going to make 35. Everyone messing around him says he will.
Mm-hmm.
But, he's so physically strong. He may be 140, but
right.
He's one of those guys that just, everyone says reminds him of James Toney.
Oh God!
Because he slips everything, and then he just counters with a hook or a right hand, and they go down, and if they don't get up, it's like Brandon Lee hit him or Boots hit him. They don't get up.
Yeah,
and he's 10-0 with 9. I'm really excited about him.
Wow. So the promotional side of things are treating you well.
Yeah, no, and I've got, I talk to the best amateur coaches out there,
Mm-hmm.
and there's, I just want to have like 10, 12 guys, honestly, that can really, really fight.
Wow.
And I've got 4 or 5 right now. I've got a few more to go,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm real picky. I handpick my guys, and they're just certain guys I want.
Right.
And I love guys that can punch.
Mm.
If they can't punch, it's just not for me. I want guys that can really punch.
Okay. Got that. How's the relationship with Steven Espinoza? How's that coming
Good.
along?
Good.
Okay. Good. And what's the prognosis for the Jerron's Ennis moving forward? I'm not sure if you heard Sean Porter. Sean Porter said that he will not fight him.
Right. I know he said that.
Yeah, and so fans are really clamoring to understand what's next for Jerron.
Well, he's going to fight. I wanted to fight for the IBO title this fight, and some things got screwed up and didn't get it done. But we'll get it done the next fight. And I don't know. There's several guys that say they will fight him. They just want a lot of dough. That's all. But they are willing to fight. So everyone's like calling me. Who's he going to fight? How's he going to? No one's going to fight him. No one's going to. There's always someone, you know that.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely right. And how's the money portion of it? Are you guys strong financially, or would you have to lean on a network?
Well, you got to have a network of some sort. But we have Showtime that wants to help us, and Boots made a lot of money this weekend. I mean, a lot of money.
Good.
So he's very happy, and he got a huge raise. He was making good money before, but he's making a lot of money, and everything is good.
Okay.
I mean, it just gotta, he wants to fight everybody, so he's never going to be completely happy because he wants to fight everybody, and he wants to fight every month. And, you can't do that.
Right.
So we're just going to do our best to getting as many fights as we can. And Steven Espinoza knows that. And we're just going to go as fast as we can to keep him happy and to keep him fighting.
Right.
He wants to fight the best guys in the world.
Yeah, and he's on course to do it. He definitely deserves it. What now? It seems like the 147 guys are on the PBC side. Do you have to give up a piece of Jerron for him to fight on the PBC's upper echelon?
We haven't done anything. It's just me and the Ennises and my brother, who's my partner, Joe Duncan, and we all get along great. We spent the week together this past week,
right.
and we haven't had to do that. And I know people are gonna continue to ask, and they've been asking, and they're trying, but we haven't had to do that yet, and we don't want to do that. Bozy told me, we can do it ourselves, Cam. We don't need anybody. So he's 28-0 with 26, brother. It's hard to complain that he's been on television a lot. He's fighting. We're thankful that Showtime's done that for us and continues to. We're not looking to go anywhere. We're happy where we're at.
Right.
And, we just, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep going.
You're absolutely right. How's the conversations been between you and Al?
I haven't spoken to Al at all.
Okay.
Ever.
Oh.
Everything is with Espinoza, and he talks to Al. He talks with, I reached out because I was told to. by Espinosa to reach out and call Tom Brown. Tom Brown's never talked to me. And I know Tom Brown really well. Back in the Top Rank days, I mean, we were together almost every fight card for like 4 years in a row. And Dan Goosen, of course, and Dan worked out of the office there, and I was around him. So I know all these people. And I ran into Leonard Ellerby at Valet. It was good to talk to him. Again, we were talking about back in the day when he came over and met at Top Rank, and we went outside with Floyd, and Floyd was just going, and we were talking because we were trying to close the fight with Diego Corrales and Floyd. And we were laughing about that because we remember what was all said back then. So I like all these people, and I've known them forever. So I don't think it's going to be a problem moving forward with any of my guys.
Okay. How about Bob Arum? Any conversations with Bob? Even though he's light at 47, but any conversations about him and possibly Terrence Crawford down the line? Or
I haven't talked to Bob at all. And again, I talk to Todd DeBuff all the time.
Right.
And I've talked to Todd. I've talked to Todd 4 or 5 times this week. So he calls me and we talk about different things and different ideas. And he's real smart. I mean, Bob taught him some of that, but he's also real smart, business-wise, money-wise. So, you know, he's got ideas and stuff, but right now we want to be loyal and faithful to who's given us fights and done well with us.
And that loyalty word is such a hard word in boxing because money changes everything. You know what I mean? Well, look at Canelo. I mean, the fight this Saturday pretty sums up, you know, non-loyalty, if you want to call it that, you know, and it just being about money.
I was amazed that Espinosa got that done. I was pretty shocked.
Yeah.
But how do you see that fight, real quick?
I'm glad you asked. I'm a huge advocate of Caleb Plant, man. I love his story. I've seen every fight since he's been about 5-0. I mean, I just think you can't beat Canelo in Vegas. With that being said, I don't think you can beat him. I think they're gonna be in the red for this fight. They need about 600,000 pay-per-view buys just to break even. And they need a $10 million gate. You understand? Like, just to break even on it's $50 million.
I heard it was more than that, by the way.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they're going to be in the extreme red on this fight. $20-30 million in the red, you know.
You think so?
Yes, because you got the UFC.
You don't think it? Tell me what you think it's going to do.
300,000 because of Dana White. Dana White loves this competition thing. Dana White is coming for boxing's neck. He got a big event in Usman in New York.
Really?
Yeah. So you're gonna split the combat sports, and Dana White is definitely a more fan-friendly, you know, in terms of sportsmanship as it relates to the fans. Steven Espinosa is not Dana White. So I think the novice fans will gear more towards Usman, you know, go get a 12-pack and some pizza and some wings, and they're gonna say Canelo or Usman. I think they're gonna go with UFC. I think so. So I think he'll do 300,000. Canelo's guaranteed 40 million. Caleb's guaranteed 10. That's 50 million. And that's just the main event. Truth. So I don't.
No, it's insane. It's a huge risk.
It's the worst. It's the worst move that I've seen in years. I'll be honest with you. You know, I think I've been very vocal about this, Cameron, about Al was kind of pressing a little bit because I think Canelo is a shot in the dark, you know, and I think PBC is going to stay in the dark a little bit not unless they get a lightning rod like a Jaron Ennis, you know, but that can only happen, you know, later on down the line, but I don't think it's going to do well at all. I think Canelo's going to win because he's going in up 2 rounds, 50-50 rounds, all go to Canelo. The Tom Brown is paying the judges, paying the refs, paying the commission. So everybody knows without speaking, that Canelo's supposed to win.
How can you blame Tom Brown of that? What are you doing, man?
Well, no. What I'm saying, Tom Brown gives out the checks. You know what I mean? They're in charge of the event. So they're the lead promotional company. So Canelo's gonna win, I think. So if the fight is,
so you see him winning a fairly close decision, but
yeah, I see him winning the close, and I'm gonna be, and I'm the kind of guy that's gonna do a podcast on Sunday and be like, Caleb won the fight. but there's nothing we could do, man. There's nothing we could do about it. He's the next fight to probably be a black guy because he's beat the white guy. So and then it'll be David Benavidez down the line. That's boxing 101, right? So
well, I got a white guy. Okay. And last one, Pavlik was great. Bones Adams were great. I haven't had many, so it's easy to remember them because Kelly Pavlik and Bones Adams. I don't think I had many more white guys than that. Anyway, I've got a kid named Trevor Mccombie. And he's 25-0, 19 knockouts, huge amateur, won everything, 29 years old. He'd be perfect to fight Canelo. And he can fight. Won 15 nationals, and, he's not Boots Ennis, but who is? But he can really fight, and he can punch.
And he's a 68 kid.
And I would love to talk about getting him going. He hurt his knee, so he's going to be a little bit, but I'm getting his surgery done and I'm going to get him going. He's a perfect opponent because I think he knocks Caleb Plant out.
Oh, wow.
And no, he can fight. Believe me, he can really fight, brother. I'm not talking about some just white guy. This guy's a world-class guy. And he was with Top Rank for years. But the only fight they would ever offer me was Better Bayev. And no one wants to fight that guy. And so
why would no one want to fight him? Why you say that?
Well, I mean, he look at 4 guys who have fought him out of his last 6 or something have never fought again. I mean, he breaks ribs and you can hit him with a truck. He doesn't move. And, he's just the wrong kind of guy. But I think against a guy like Canelo, I mean, Trevor will do really well. Really well. I mean, real well. And I think it's a fight they would take. And he's undefeated, and he looks like a movie star. And that's not just me saying that. Everyone says that. And I think that's somebody that I'm going to really push hard to go and to fight Canelo. And I'm going to get him fighting again, get him back in the rankings and go. But that's a guy that'll be a terrific fight.
Yeah.
Why do you think Plant can give him trouble just because he's going to move and box?
Yeah, he's going to move, but he's going to punch with defensive instincts. So even when he's on the offense, he's going to be thinking defense. So I think like that's going to elongate the fight. It's not going to be under 6. I think fatigue is going to play a huge part in this. Mental fortitude. Will Canelo get frustrated? Will Caleb Plant get frustrated? He got to catch all. Now, Caleb Plant got to catch all those punches now, because Canelo doesn't throw one punch at a time. So will he get frustrated and say, you know what, I'm tired of catching these punches, man. Meet me in the center of the ring and may the best man win. Or will he change the angle, lead with his jab? I mean, I'm rooting for Caleb. Like, I'm going to be shadow boxing while the fight is going on. I'm rooting for Caleb. But I'm being honest. I'm rooting for him. I love his story, man, and how he put his daughter in the forefront and how that carried him. But I've seen this before. I mean, my first favorite fighter was Pernell Whitaker. So I've seen it play out with Pernell Whitaker too many times. So I think now he is the Mexican cash cow, Cameron, and PBC's only hope is that somehow, some way, they get their money back by the third fight, and the third fight being David Benavidez. I think Charlo's gonna be next, and then maybe David Benavidez somewhere in Texas, or maybe Charlo will be somewhere in Texas, but they got to get these pay-per-view numbers up. But yeah.
Well, if they're what you're saying, they're gonna take a bath. So
yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna be a bloodbath, because how much money do you think they'll lose this weekend?
I really don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's gonna do 300. You don't see it doing 5.
I don't see the 500,000 fans.
Okay.
Like I really don't. I don't see 500,000 fans with UFC the same night. I don't see it. Because you got to take into account, we're looking at 1.2 million fans, right?
Right. That's the number.
Yeah. So we're looking at 1.2 million fans with UFC. UFC fights every week. They market. Canelo goes away, comes back. Caleb Plant is not really a household name. He's a very regional name. And when I say regional, I mean one state, and maybe a little bit of Vegas. So he's coming with 30,000 houses. Canelo has to be responsible for 470 houses. I don't think he has that, because people watch the fight for free in Mexico. It's free in Mexico, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's typically free in Mexico. They don't pay. So
right.
It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough, and I don't see it, especially when Dana White immediately gets half of the cake, just off the rip.
Yeah. Well, Dana White's great at what he does.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I don't know if there aren't a few more boxing fans out there.
Well, let's hope. And the undercard is trash. Oh my gosh. The undercard is
terrible.
Oh my God. It is the worst undercard. You got 3 10-round fights. So that means I really don't have to get to the arena till 8:30.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
no, when I saw the undercard, I was.
But that tells you.
I don't want to badmouth anyone, but I was very disappointed.
But that tells you where all the money's at. You understand?
It's got all go to Canelo.
Yeah, it's all going to Canelo, man. And then then Caleb Plant. Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna speak on speculation, but maybe Caleb Plant's not getting all his money in one shot. You get what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah, because he has a great relationship with Al Heyman. But so are you really believe you're gonna get a Ugas, maybe a Jamal James, or maybe even that Russian kid? Do you think that's possible?
Not next fight, Butiev.
Mm-hmm.
I think that night he was saying he would fight anybody the night of the fight, but he wants to fight Ugas, and they're pushing him to fight Stanionis. So that's going to have to be cleared out, and I don't know how that's going to play out. But we'll find a capable opponent for Boots.
Right.
And I think people are going to want to see Boots fight. I mean, they don't want to watch him fight a dead man.
Right.
But they if we get a quality opponent, they're going to watch him. He's exciting.
Very.
With Boots, you don't know at any second the fight can end.
Right.
And we haven't had that. Even though he doesn't fight like a Tyson, he fights, he's got great boxing skills.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the same type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
You blink and you may miss it.
Right.
I mean, he'll knock your head off. Mm-hmm. So really an exciting guy. And I think people love the knockout. And I think they love seeing it. I saw it the other night at the arena. They were so jazzed up after he flattened Delorme. They loved it.
No, he's
I mean,
definitely box office. He's box office for sure.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's
And I
definitely
want to start pushing him towards. I'm going to start really putting stuff out about him, and I can talk to you about that off the air. But I
okay.
got a lot of things
Okay,
going
for
with
sure.
him, and he we want to get his name out there and
Mm-hmm.
want to put him on pay-per-view, and
Mm-hmm.
I think people are going to pay to watch Boots Ennis
For
fight.
sure,
I really
without a doubt.
believe that. And I'm thinking they're going to want to pay to watch, Brandon Lee fight. He has some of the most sensational knockouts. Have you seen his last four fights?
Yeah. All knockouts.
He
All
knocks
knockouts.
them out, and
Yeah.
I mean out. And wouldn't you want to watch that?
Yes.
I mean,
I
guys
and I
that
do.
punch,
And I do watch it.
and you do watch it.
Yes.
And then we fill it in with Brian Norman Jr. And he can really punch.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a few other guys that can, and we reach out outside of my company and get different people that are fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people are going to pay for it. Not a ton, but they'll pay something to see it.
Sure.
And I think they'll enjoy it because they're not going to be bored watching 10 rounds of guys move around and jab and grab and break and go again.
Right.
They're going to see guys that are coming to rip heads off.
Right.
And I think people want to see that.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're absolutely right. Now, let me ask you: do you think Keith Thurman, Earl Spence, and Bud Crawford are ducking Jaron Ennis?
Well, I don't think they want to fight him. But again, if the money is there, they'll fight him. Those guys all got guts. I mean, no one's going to tell me that any of those guys are afraid to fight. Look what they've done. Look who they've fought.
Right.
They'll fight. Right. I got a lot of respect for anyone that'll get in that ring and do that stuff.
Right.
And I especially do when you're talking about the names you just named. Those are real guys. They're not afraid to fight. But they say, does it make sense? Is it sensible? No. But you're going to pay me this? Okay, let's sit down. Let's talk about it. And I think Boots can drive the money. I really do. I really believe he can.
Where would your source come from? Is it private investors or would it be 100% Showtime?
I'd have to talk to Steven and see what he says. But I've got two really good investors.
Okay, beautiful.
And they have plenty of money.
Okay.
And we've got other people that, that want to do like a co-promotion with it. And so that might work. I don't know. Okay. We were just trying to get to this fight, and now we're going to work on the next one. And Steven's been busy all week here. Right. He's got Canelo, so we haven't spoken a whole lot about it yet, but we will.
What's some level of opposition, some 4 or 5 names that in that range for the IBO title for Jaron Ennis?
We mentioned the guys that you're mentioning, same guys, and a fight that everyone is starting to really talk about, and Boots going overseas to London and fight. They're really excited about Conor Benn. Everyone is excited over there about Conor Benn, and they're aware of who Boots is. So I thought about maybe fighting him over there in London, him and Conor Benn together. And I spoke with people over there about it, and it would be sensational, and that would be a huge fight.
Yeah, it definitely would be in the UK. So you have a solid relationship with Eddie Hearn?
No, I wouldn't say a solid relationship, but I'm sure it could be worked out.
Okay.
I don't think that'd be a problem. It's a fight that's good for him. It's a fight that's good for us. And I think it's a fight that people are starting to really talk about.
Now, last we spoke, I remember you talking about Leo Santa Cruz, how he went to PBC. Do you think that in order for Boots to reach the top, do you have to do like similar to what you did with Leo Santa Cruz, just absolutely let him go?
No.
Okay.
Why would I let him go?
No, I know that. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, to get the fights that will make him the star that he wants to be, because, you know, this boxing game is hard to tell a promoter that's invested money in a fighter to say, hey, I know your fighter's better. Like, I know Jaron Boots Ennis is better than fighter B. In order for you to fight fighter B, I'm gonna need a piece of Jerron, or you're gonna have to give him up and you have to just go silent and we just give you pieces.
Well, you know, no one's going to just give us a piece of our own fighter. I mean, that's stupid.
Right.
And this guy's on a whole different world than you're talking about. You're talking about, you know, Santa Cruz compared with Boots Ennis. I mean, it's a whole different world.
Right.
Ennis will bring his own, and he's going to want to share in everything, and I'll make sure that happens. And you know, he's going to get those fights, and yeah, they may want to do a co-promotion, they may want to do a hands-on type deal. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, it can be talked about.
Okay.
But no, I'm not going to give up my fighter.
Okay.
And I'm not going to give up Lee. I'm not going to give up any of my guys.
Okay.
I've built them, and they got huge records. And it's not just records. They can really fight. And I'm getting ready to do about 4 or 5 more. And I know I'll have the best fighters in the world, period. I don't care. Top rank, Al Heyman, any of them, they won't have what I have talent-wise. They won't.
No. And by the looks of it, you're definitely going to have some major players in boxing. Some fights I want to talk. Yeah.
And, you know, people say, my brother said to me the other night, yeah, we're a small promoter, but no small promoter has what we have.
Right.
This is insane. We got the best fighter in the world, and we're going to have the top 20 fighters in the world. We're going to have 6 or 8 of them. You watch. The guys I'm talking about and talking to right now, and some of them are already signed. And no network is going to walk away from a chance to put them on and work with them.
Gotcha.
Because Cameron Duncan and Joe Duncan are their promoter. That's
Gotcha.
stupid.
Got that.
They want the fighter. They want the best fighters in the world. And that we can deliver.
Okay. Sean Porter versus Terrence Crawford.
Oh boy! Somehow I knew you would ask me that.
I have to. That's your vibe.
I thought, you know, Crawford definitely. And then when I hear things from gyms and stuff, although a gym is not a fight, as you know, and you just see the guts. Yeah, it's going to be it's a 50-50 fight.
Wow.
Don't you think, or no?
Nah, I think Terrence is gonna pull it out. I think Terrence is not gonna. I think Terrence gonna jab him to death. I think he may snake his right hand. I don't know if he's gonna fight soft. He's gonna fight, so he may snake his left hand and jab with his right hand and lead hooks and turn Sean. I think they're both gonna be tired by the 10th round. But I think the straighter punches will be by Crawford. I do question Crawford's chin a little bit, and however, I do question Sean Porter's power. He hasn't had a knockout in 4.5 years, or a knockdown in 4.5 years. So, and he's been at the same, and he's only fought at 47. So, he's pretty comfortable there. So that's safe to say he doesn't have the power to really change the fight. So I have Crawford in a competitive, unanimous decision. Like, the rounds are close, but I have I have Crawford winning, but I will say this. I saw a quote yesterday from Sean Porter. He compared Boots Ennis to Terrence Crawford. So in my head, I'm thinking, Cameron, he doesn't believe he can beat Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm
I can't imagine he doesn't think he can win. I mean, look how close the fight was with Spence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't think he doesn't think he can win. It's really going to be, can he put enough pressure on Terrence to just keeping Terrence in a firefight? If he can't, and he can jab and move and keep the distance, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Then he'll win the fight going away. And I think Crawford can do that. And that's why I said if you were pushed, you'd have to pick Crawford to win the fight.
Yeah.
But if he really comes bringing it, he could win.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sean Porter has a chance at winning for sure. I just don't know if he knows how to win. Like he doesn't, like he's not a clean fighter. So some of this, even when he's landing punches, judges may not even see it. So especially at that level, I think Crawford wins in a very competitive fight. I think Sean is a hell of a competitor. I think he's gonna be high octane, but I don't think he has enough skills and like pragmatic. I don't think he's very pragmatic in the ring. Like, he moves a lot without purpose, without reason a lot. So I think that may be the difference. But I do think he's gonna bring the best out of Terrence Crawford. His will, his competitiveness, he's gonna bring that out of him, like he's brought out of everyone else.
It's a great fight.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, no, it is.
And I think that, Terrence should be the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that. But I just think it's going to be a brutal fight.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be rough.
Yeah, I think so too. And I just got to finish watching the press conference of Devin Haney versus JoJo Diaz. They're fighting December 4th in Vegas.
Right.
How do you like that fight?
Oh, well, it's a one-sided fight, and Devin Haney will win going away. Diaz is a smaller guy, and he's not going to be able to outbox Devin Haney at all, even close. I see a real one-sided fight. 10-2, 11-1.
Wow.
Maybe
wow,
12.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I have it 8-4 Devin. I have it more competitive. Like I like Devin a lot. I love his skill set. I love how clean he is in the ring as well.
And that's why I think he's going to win 10-2, 11-1, 12-0 too.
Wow.
I think he'll play with these. I really do.
Wow. That's an impressive answer. And Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz would be the same thing, correct? The next day, December 5th.
Isaac Cruz. He can't do anything. He's going to bring it, but he's a small guy, and he's going to come hard, but he's going to get busted on the chin too and get knocked out.
Right. What would you want to change in the sport of boxing?
I would like to have more networks. I would like to have more opportunities. It is now what you were saying earlier, as you were grinding me. You're either with Heyman or you're with Aaron. And that's not good. It's not good for the state of boxing. It's not. And there's guys out there that, Devin Haney's not with them. You can go and find guys. And if there was more opportunities, I think it would be better for boxing. And I think there's so many fighters out there. It's incredible how many fighters there are. And a lot of them don't get an opportunity.
Right.
They really don't. And they can fight.
Right.
But they can't get an opportunity.
Right.
And I think that's bad for boxing.
Right. 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 Who would you want to get rid of in boxing?
Who would I what?
Who would you want to get rid of in boxing? What person would you want to get rid of?
I don't think I'm in a place to get rid of anybody. So I'm not God, and I don't do that.
No, not in terms of death, but in terms of out the sport. Not in terms of death, but in out of the sport.
Yeah, look. If you're talking about who get rid of people in boxing, I don't see where anybody should be getting rid of anybody.
What was the deal that you learned the most from? That you might have seen, like, man, maybe they got over on me, and I learned so much. Now hindsight is 2020. You look back on that deal and you says, I understand it now.
Well, I had a lot of them. I did. I learned a lot. And I'm not the same guy I was back in the day. And when I took those years off and I found the Lord, he tells me what to do and where to go and who to fight. And so this isn't me. I'm not this smart. Believe me, I'm not. And to find all these great guys. And it's Jesus Christ. I'm telling you it is. And I know it is because I know who he is.
Gotcha.
So I don't do the same things I used to do. I used to get mad and I would jump into things or want to pay someone back, any of that stuff. And I think, guys, as you get older, don't you not want to do that anymore? I mean, you want to do what's just smart for your guy and take care of him and do what's best for him. And that's where I'm at right now. And all my guys are doing extremely well. And they can say whatever they want to say. But when it comes time to fighting better guys, that they'll fight better. They'll do better because they've been moved right. And, and hopefully we can make some really, really big fights for these guys and the new guys that I got coming.
Right.
I would love to fight Devin Haney with a guy like Brianna Michelle Redman. I think it would be very, very interesting, and it would be a shock to a lot of people what starts happening in that fight.
Who's some of your most fun fighters that you've had over time? You like, man?
Oh, I've had some great. When I used to tell Diego I would buy a ticket instead of getting paid, I would pay to watch him fight.
Wow,
he was terrific. Johnny Tapia, even though he wasn't a puncher, he was a blast.
Yes,
he was so much fun. He was terrific, and Nonito Donaire, it doesn't get any better. He used to hit people and just flatten them. An incredible puncher, and he was so much fun to watch. And Tim Bradley, holy crap! Can you say anything negative about Tim Bradley? He's terrific. I mean, he fought so hard, and if you hit Tim Bradley, he's going to hit you back. And he's going to hit you back right away. So he was another guy. I had so many guys that Pavlik was so much fun, and guys that I really look forward to watch fight. And they weren't all like that, but most of them were really entertaining to watch. And and some of them, you love them so much that, sometimes I didn't want to watch because I knew it was going to be rough. But you care about them. So, you want to be there and you want to watch him and you want to be there for him. So, I've been very fortunate.
Yeah.
Extremely fortunate.
Who's some of your great friends in boxing?
I've got a lot of friends that I don't know if you would even know who they are. Todd DeBuff and I talk
I know
a
Todd.
lot and get along with him extremely well, and he's really smart. And back in the day, my best friend, he's not now, unfortunately, but Bruce Trampler, he taught me the whole business. Him and Pete Susans, they taught me everything. They taught me how to match fights, how to start a guy, different styles, different, things to look for. And Aram taught me, as much as he hates me, he taught me a ton by hurting me. And when somebody smacks you so many times and does things to you, you learn. And so I'm thankful that, he did give me several fights with Pacquiao, and I thank him for that. Believe me, I do. But he's a mean guy. He's a tough guy, hard guy. It's how he grew up. And he doesn't know how to be soft or be kind. It's just not in him. And so I learned a lot from him, that when they're shaking your hand and smiling, don't think they're your friend. I learned a lot. I really did.
What was the worst deal Bob got you into? Bob comes in here once a month, and I'll be reaming Bob. Me and Bob have a great time in here. He comes in once a month. We powwow. What's the one deal Bob got over on you that may still like haunt you a little bit?
Several times he taught me things. Believe me. Diego, I got Diego 16-0 before I brought Diego to him. I actually brought him to Bruce Trampler. I brought everybody to Bruce Trampler and Todd DeBuff. But he got to be 33-0, and he wanted him to fight Mayweather. And first of all, I wanted to fight at 30 because I thought it would make him quicker and make my guy quicker. Anyway, there were several things in that fight that I wanted done, and he turned the fighter against me with money, which he could always do. And I told him that he wasn't going to beat Mayweather. And I told him that, it was the worst fight for him, the worst style for him, and why he was setting his feet. Mayweather would be just lighting him up. And I told him that because I loved him, I cared about him, and I wanted to tell him the truth. And he hated me for it, and he took the fight, and you saw what happened.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
And it wasn't even competitive, and I was really mad at Aram because I had built him so long to 33-0, and I wanted him to be in a better position than he was in. And he turned out to be just an opponent, and got slaughtered, made Mayweather a superstar. And then it was, he had all those brutal fights, Diego, and he got, really lit up. And with Casimir, all those fights after, not good. So that was one that it really bothered me. But again, Aram built him, and he put the fights in him, and I put a lot of fights in him, but small fights.
Right.
But he spent a lot of money building him up in the bigger fights. So, people would argue that he had the right to do that.
Oh, okay. Now, the other side of that coin. Jay Prince tells a story about Mayweather not wanting to fight Diego Corrales. That Jay Prince said he had to convince Floyd Mayweather that he could beat Diego Corrales. Did you hear that story?
He told me the same thing.
Yeah.
He told me that Floyd didn't want anything to do with him. And when that was late, LRB and Floyd came over to the Top Rank office, and we stood outside and just talked. And, you know, he asked me, LRB, you know, what do I think? And I asked him what he thought, and he was all Floyd. And I didn't want to say it, but I was all Floyd. I said, it's just a bad fight for Diego. And he wanted the fight in the worst way. But something was wrong. He didn't train for that fight at all. He was running with, I think, 3 girls, and he wasn't coming home at night. He was training out at the Prince Ranch, and they didn't see him all night. He didn't come home. It's almost really strange. This one, maybe you understand and I don't. He wanted that fight really bad, but he didn't train for it. He didn't get ready for it. He acted like this is going to be an easy fight, and he got destroyed. So I don't know. I don't know. He said he wanted it, and when I told him, look, let's get out of this fight and not do it, he got really mad at me. I want this fight. I'm going to destroy him. But yet he didn't give himself a chance. He didn't train. Does that make sense?
No, it absolutely makes sense. You know, it's kind of like when at graduation, your habits come to fruition in your toughest moments. You know, he was getting away with a lot of that stuff, you know, because he trained in LA too a little bit, you know. So I know I was young then, obviously much younger, but I heard all the stories that came out of the Valley and some of the things that you spoke of. So when he was with down there with Goosen and all that. So he has some demons. Diego Corrales has some demons, and on the biggest stage, those demons come to life.
Oh yeah. No, he did. He did have demons. You're right about that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You know, he wanted to commit suicide.
Yeah.
He used to tell me, I want to die in the ring, and you know, stuff like that just gives you the creeps. And you know, and I'd say, what's wrong with you? You know, I'd go crazy, and he'd just smile at me. You know, you'll see, I want to die in the ring. I never understood that. I didn't. I really felt bad for him because he, you know, he had demons, and he really did. Sad.
Yeah, how it ended.
But he was fun to watch.
Was he? Fan friendly. Oh, fan friendly. HBO loved him. I loved him. You know, he was a joy. You know, he was definitely. How do people stay in the business so long? Like Bob Arum's been in for 50 years. Al Heyman's, he'll be approaching 20 years. What's the secret sauce to staying in business so long?
Well, I think they make money.
Yes.
I think they're good businessmen, and they're smart, and they make money. So believe me, people that don't make money at this, they're out quick. And how many people have we seen come in the business and they're a multi-millionaire, which isn't a lot of money now, but it was then. And, you know, and you say, oh, Abercrombie, and oh, this person, and they're going to change boxing. And they come in and, you know, and they have lots of money, but they don't ever do anything business wise, and then they're out quick. And you know, that's really sad.
Yeah, because there's no regulations in boxing, so people think they can just come in here and free nilly it, you know. But Bob Arum and Al Heyman got such stronghold of the marketplace. You know, Eddie Hearn said today in an interview, or yesterday in an interview, he says that I couldn't even do the press conference on an MGM property. He's talking about Devin Haney and JoJo Diaz. So that tells you the leverage that a Bob Arum or an Al Heyman has as it pertains to their relationships.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't mess. Believe me, I've messed with Bob Arum, and believe me, Heyman's no different, and they'll rip you to shreds. They really will.
Yeah.
And you kind of just try and, I sign the best guys in the world, and I love them, take care of them, move them the right way, make them lots of money. And, if you have to work with those people for certain fights, you do it.
Right.
Because it's best for your fighter.
Right.
That's all.
Right. Man, this was an hour, Mr. Cameron Duncan. Man, I thank you, man. I got to go get my son from school too, man. And I appreciate it. I called you. Yes, I want the people to know that you keep your word as well. I called you yesterday. You were wrapped up in some things, and you called me today, and now we're doing the interview. So I want to say thank you for getting back to me and keeping your word. It truly means a lot. And best of luck, man. And your fighters that we don't know of, please call me and we'll do interviews with them, because the world need to know who they are. We know Brandon Ali and Jaron Ennis,
Yeah, I would love for you to do interviews with them. I'll call you.
Yeah, call me and we'll set that up. And I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. And man, we missed the weigh-in, man.
Oh man, sorry about that.
I'm not worried about no weigh-in, man. Canelo's gonna say 10 words in English, and Caleb Plant gonna look through his soul, and that's the weigh-in.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you, Cameron.
God bless you.
Likewise, all the time. Cameron Duncan, y'all. I totally appreciate him, man. He kept his word, man. I called him yesterday, and he was a man of his word. Came in today, and so we just want to put a bow on and just learn more about Jaron Ennis. I think Jaron Ennis is a great talent. I think he's exceptional. I think he's amazing. Truth be told, the first time I saw Jaron Ennis fight, it was at my house, and me and Kitty Porter watched Jaron Ennis. How funny is that? And I was like, nobody can beat him. He's the next best thing. And then we was like, and we both agreed that night. It was a Showbox card. It was about 4 years ago on the Showbox card. So congratulations to Jaron Ennis, and continued success. And good luck finding an opponent, man. Hopefully between Bob Arum and Al Heyman and maybe Eddie Hearn, he can get a step-up opponent. So, and I thank again Cameron Duncan for spending an hour in the barbershop. And I'll see you guys Sunday. And we got Regis Prograis coming in the barbershop. What do you know? Barbershop Conversations. I appreciate you guys. 9 Wives, incredible film. 27 film festivals later, 3 months into the project, and we just keep on moving. So click the link below, 9 Wives, and share. And more content coming.